We are live on Twitch, and I'm not going to be live for too long. And then we are in a different location. So now this room is a movie theater room. I don't know why I just kind of like paused right in between there. It's a movie theater room. Y'all see this work right here? Um, Houses that are made of wood like to expand, so they crack. They do all this weird stuff. This was due to somebody doing some shoddy work, so they gotta come in, paint that all over again. You spend a couple bands, make sure people do stuff, right? But I want to be in this type of area so people can kind of um see different places of the rooms and stuff. Like first, yo, I ain't gonna lie, when I started these videos, I used to record in my closet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Have my clothes, my sneakers and stuff behind me. And it was big enough. Like I could literally like my closet's a walk-in closet. So I can't do this and touch, you know, the size of both walls. And the other way too. That's how big it is. It's not like crazy big, but it's big enough for me to set up a bunch of equipment, stretch my feet out all the way without having to feel uncomfortable. The last room I was in was my mother-in-law's office. We built her an office so she could do her work and stuff like that. I was sharing it with her, but I said, you know what? You know what would be a good place to just come in and do videos? A movie theater. Like this is where we come and kick it at. You know? Um Today we about to get an interesting video. It is by who's that? Jordan Welch. Now I am switching the content over to more informative stuff. Like I feel like if my name is Billionaire Chase, how could we show y'all how to make money? How could we put y'all in position to make a bag? A lot of y'all making bags. I ain't even gonna front. The younger generation is like y'all. It's easy for y'all to make 10,000, 20,000. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's nothing. I preach this to my younger siblings. Like, you should have no problem making money nowadays. I don't care if it's social media, content creation, doing it for others, marketing, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could make your legal money and then you could make the legal money. It's easier to make legal money, you know. So I ain't gonna say then illegal money. Illegal money is always easy to make, but it comes with a lot of problems and stuff. Nowadays it's just easy. But let's get in this video and make sure my stuff is connected. All right, bet. We good. We good. We good. Let go. See what Jordan talking about.
Interviewing one of the richest men on the planet, and we just arrived at his $100 million mansion here in Palm Beach, so he can tell me exactly how he got here. Thank you so much for having us at your house today. This is without a doubt the most beautiful house I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you.
As of today, how much in assets is your company Interactive Brokers have under management?
Roughly $350 billion.
Wow. You've come a long way though. Let's take it back to the beginning.
I sure.
Jordan.
Yeah, let's go back to 1944, the year you
Two-tone watch. Prezi. Two-tone Rolly is really, really classy. Shout out to Jordan for this, man.
were born.
1944, I was born in Budapest during the time when the city was under siege and it was being bombed. And I was born in the basement of the hospital
86.
because there was a bombing raid.
There was a bombing happening while you were being born.
Right.
And growing up under those conditions, what was that like? You grew up with your mother and your father?
I just grew up with my mother.
And you guys didn't have much money back then?
We had no money back then. Barely had any food.
Is it true that you made your first money in high school from selling juicy fruit gum to classmates?
That you're amazing. Yes, that is true.
That's crazy.
I was 12 years old at the time.
Why does it seem like men always gravitate towards candy? Like, if y'all notice, some of the best hustlers started selling candy. High school.
It was a
up Juicy Fruit real quick. Wow. They coming out with some they coming out with some nice Nikes, some red and black. Damn, Juicy Fruit been around that long. It was in Hungarian. It was in Hungary. They started in 1892 in Chicago. That is crazy. That's crazy.
Well, actually, I brought you a gift. I searched
Juicy fruit
I
gum.
searched for a few days and I found the original packaging from 1970
Fantastic.
Juicy Fruit gum.
This is actually the thing. Yeah, it's amazing.
Maybe we should open it up and share a piece together.
Yeah, right.
No, it's too old. It's too
Too
old.
old? You think it wouldn't be good anymore?
I think it might be the last piece of Juicy Fruit you ever have in your life.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I will keep it as a souvenir. It's amazing that you found that.
Those must be your neighbors flying in the helicopter.
Yeah, well, Trump doesn't like it when it flies over here.
Yeah.
You know, he just lives down there. 3 houses down that way.
Yeah, just around the corner from Trump.
Right.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Three
after
houses
high
down.
school, you
Crazy.
moved to the United States.
I was 21 when I came to the United States.
What type of challenges did you face when you moved to America? Did you speak English? Did you have money saved up?
I did not speak English and I did not have money, so that was a challenge. Both of them were a challenge.
So how did you get by? How did you make your money when you came to America?
I got a job as a draftsman. So I was studying surveying back in Hungary. I understood maps and I was hired by a highway designing firm to draw maps, basically highways.
So how did you turn that into learning computer programming? How did you learn about programming in New York? They didn't teach that in Hungary.
They didn't teach it anywhere at that time yet. The company where I just got this job bought a little computer. In those days, there were no commercially available computers in the United States. So they bought this computer and they realized that nobody knew how to program it, and I volunteered to learn how to do it, and I did.
How did you learn?
Manuals. I just
Yo, y'all hear that background music? Hopefully I don't get like copyrighted. But that's crazy. Did y'all hear him? So he basically picked up a skill that wasn't really prominent at that time and he utilized it.
took the manual and started writing the program.
And that skill ended up
Crazy.
being the one that changed your life forever and got you to this point today. But first, I want to know about how you went from working that job to getting a seat on the American Stock Exchange.
So before I did that, I went to work as a computer programmer on Wall Street, where I heard about options, puts and calls. I was intrigued by the question of how to calculate the correct price for an option. I figured that out and wanted to go to trade for myself. And so I've been saving money, and over the 10 years of working, I saved up $200,000, which in those days was more than $200,000
Yeah.
today. So I bought a seat on the stock exchange and went down to the
Mind you, he's a computer programmer, so he's probably one of the, I'm not gonna say forefounders, but like the grandfathers of actually creating the algorithm. I trade the market every day. So for someone like him to be a programmer means that they needed somebody to create the algorithm or tweak it, make it to work efficiently. And then he also realized that he could get into option trading, take the option trading. I'm pretty sure he already knew how the algorithm worked. And he saved a 200K, which is crazy because back in that day, 200K took him 10 years. What's that, 20,000? Mind you, he's a computer programmer, so I'm pretty sure he was, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure he was making
floor
okay
as a
money.
trader. That was very different in those days because there were no computers. There was, just people yelling and shouting.
And you at the time felt like that was not the best way to do this.
That certainly was not the best way to do this, because by that time, computer tech.
Yo, real talk. Respect to this man who is more than likely a billionaire. respect to him because, and respect to Jordan to be able to, how'd you find him? How'd you find somebody like this? That's crazy. And to sit down with him in the comfort of his home.
Good time, computer technology was at the time just at the point where you could have computerized the exchanges. This was in 1977. But of course, they didn't want to do this because the big traders made their money out of the chaos.
You didn't want to break the system that was already
That's
there.
right.
But in 1984, you launched Timber Hill, which has now become Interactive Brokers,
Right.
the largest brokerage in the United States. Can you tell me the story of how it started as this small
Wow.
company, TP and Co, Timber Hill, to now becoming to this level?
You're amazing. You really did your homework.
Yes, of course, I had to.
So I spent 5 years on the floor trying to understand how things work. Kept
Yep.
asking them to convert
Smart.
to computerized systems, and they kept saying, no, no, go away, go away.
Smart.
The specialists didn't want to trade with me because they knew that I knew the numbers better than they did.
Exactly. So he had an advantage. That's damn near insider trading. But somehow he still got Wall Street turned into computerized trading, and now that's all we do. So now it's me versus a machine every day, figuring out price action, reading the algorithm, trying to see what it's going to do for the day, so I can make my money and get out. That's crazy.
So I hired very attractive young women to trade
Mm.
for me. We told them what to trade. They went back to the specialist and they said, I'd like to buy such and such. After a while, the specialist wised up and they said, well, that's not going to work. By the rules, they were right, so I didn't know what to do. So then in 82, and decided that I would have a computer that would get all the prices. So my computer took in those bids and offers and analyzed them and printed out the best trades to do.
You wrote this program all yourself.
I did the program, yeah. Which, by the way, I have in my office here.
You have it?
Yeah, I can show it to you.
So you build the hardware too.
We did in the office, right.
It's a lot different than the MacBook.
But it was a decade and a half earlier, right?
You know how smart you gotta be? This man saw an opportunity. This is what makes great businessmen, entrepreneurs, is that he saw opportunity, he saw a problem. There's chaos on Wall Street. Everybody's yelling. They're bidding price. It's a bidding war. The big timers are waiting till the noise settles down, putting in, and plus they already know that they control the markets. They have more money to influence the markets. So it was just nothing. It was nothing for them to just put some money down at a right opportunity and make a good chunk back. This dude said, nah, you know what? We can create a systematic software that can show me the best stocks and things to trade at the right price and then capitalize off it. You know how old this machine is? And he said it's a decade before Mac and all these other computers were heard of. That's crazy.
So it was touch sensitive and you could communicate with the computer by where you touched it.
So how do you go from creating something like this, getting your company off the ground, to taking it to now billions of dollars?
Well, you know, this was 40 years ago when we went down with that. So 40 years is a long time, you know. It didn't come very fast, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you have to do it day after day after day, week after week, year after year. It takes a long time.
Was there ever a moment that you wanted to give up or it got really difficult?
Well, several times I almost went bankrupt. Yes, yeah, several times. So
Do you remember?
You got to take the risk. So basically, look, if you don't take the risk, you'll never know. Stop worrying about what's going to happen. Wife. Stop worrying about what's gonna happen. Hope I don't get copyrighted because this is a W video. There's a lot of little background music. Hold on, real quick. We're gonna see. Um, yeah, I don't see anything. But now a lot of these people take everything with a grain of salt because a lot of people came up illegally. Yeah, they got money, but how they did it, wasn't ethical. So you got to be smart and say, you know what? Do I want to take shortcuts or am I in it for the long ride? You can get rich overnight, but wealthy takes time. You can get just as fast as you can get rich, you can go broke. But when you wealthy, it's hard to be broke. And if you ever go back down to not having anything, just as how you got up there, you implement it in another strategy, and then you make it work for yourself. You 10x, you 20x, and you scale it and get it back to where it needs to be or even better. So my thing is like, and this is also good advice for myself because sometimes I'm like, damn, I'm very calculated. I like to make sure that the risk that I'm taking makes sense. If the numbers don't make sense, I'm not doing it. I'm actually in the process of working on an app or software. So I'm in the tech field. It's crazy. This is like divine intervention. This is like God showing me what I need to do. So this gentleman, Wall Street, but he started off as a computer programmer. Actually, he did maps. Then he went into computer programming. He realized there wasn't a big market for it. He went to a place where it's nothing but billions, probably trillions of dollars are being spread out. Then he realized another problem. So he was able to capitalize because there were problems after problems. And then all he did was take his time. He hustled. He was patient, and he knew when to execute. I'm in a process. I trade every day. I'm into uh, coding. I actually just finished my coding class that I did for the college that I'm in. I got an A. Your boy is a 4.0 GPA. These lists, everything. So I really take my work seriously. I articulate myself. I try to get on here and speak like I got some common sense. I'm in the process of taking what I learned. I actually started coding when I was 14, 15 years old. It's a spot called West Schools, matter of fact, W3schools.com. I believe that's it, or .net. Look it up on Google. It's very, very well known, especially in the tech space. You can learn a lot: JavaScript, CSS, HTML, XHTML. I'm pretty sure you can learn SQL, Python, anything you want. I started coding young. Now I'm back into it. I'm dealing with data. My goal is to actually run my own tech company, but I'm in the process of making an app that's a game changer, and I'm not going to speak about it. I have legal documents that I need my attorney to go over with with me. So before I even speak about it to other parties, even developers, other programmers, because I'm not going to be doing it myself. I'm at the point in time in my life where I like to eliminate time. If I can just focus on building a business and then hiring the right people, and then once it starts getting name is we start having a reputable reputation, then we will scale it and we will scale it properly. We'll maybe call on other investors or such and such. And I would do the same thing I did with those developers or programmers. Can't speak about it because I'll sue the hell out you. I'm not playing around with nobody. I've had businesses actually stolen from me, right up under me, multi-million dollar businesses. So you learn from your mistakes. You keep moving, keep pushing forward. You take that L like a man, or you take that L like a woman, and you keep moving. So it's wild that I'm sitting here watching a dude whose company, Interactive Brokers, who is worth 300 billion dollars. He's at least got like a cup. How much is this dude? Thomas Peterfee? Peterfee? We're gonna look at how much he's worth. I'm pretty sure worth whatever your company's worth, but like how much is he worth personally?
Remember what
$60.6 billion
that felt like?
running
Sure, I
running
remember. It's horrible.
this is God
On the
speaking
flip
in me.
side, do you remember the day that you became a billionaire?
So,
Do you remember what that felt like?
sure, I remember. It's horrible.
Bankruptcy. He was talking about
On the
bankruptcy.
flip side, do you
Almost going
remember the
bankrupt.
day that you became a billionaire?
No, I don't. I
Wow.
remember,
That's how much money
but
he was
I
making. He
remember
was
the times when I almost went bust. Yeah.
So
yes.
that's just something that happens and the day goes on as normal.
No,
And
Billy.
we and quick, real quick, we always think about the losses more than the wins. The wins, yes, they're very sentimental to us because then we look back and like the wins make you think of your losses because those losses, you're like, dang, I remember when I was down 100,000, 200,000, a million. I blew this money, I blew that, and now I'm up here. He was making money to the point where, first and foremost, he probably in his mind, he wasn't thinking about money. He was thinking about the journey, how he can probably be a good businessman, leave a legacy for his children, his family, because he came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing when I think about trading. I don't remember my like. Yes, I remember my wins. I just had a big day. Today, matter of fact, it was my PR for the most amount of money I made it in um a single trade. And but I also remember how much I was down before I was up, and that hit me differently. Your psychology needs to be uh, it needs to be working to the point where you remain focused. You put your risk management, and this goes not with just trading, but any business. Like if you're down 100,000, 300,000, your business is damn near failing. Go back to the drawing board. There's a problem, and once you can solve that problem, you're gonna make more money.
Billionaire
Roll
is not. It is the first million and the first 10 million that are difficult. Once you got there, it goes faster and faster.
Your story is incredible. I think it's the most incredible of any business person I've ever met in my life. I want to switch it around and I want to ask for some advice because all my viewers are young entrepreneurs or aspiring investors. The first thing I want to talk about is that you've seen many ups and downs in the market. You've seen some of the worst crashes in history. Do you think we're headed for another market crash?
Well, I mean there'll be crashes, and there'll be a final crash from which there is no return.
Wow. Yeah, you see how and it's crazy because lately the market has been dropping. It's been doing choppy price movements up and then it drops. And it's dropping, it's sweeping out lows. It it's dropping so much and so fast to the point where yeah, you're making money, but then I do believe him. I do believe we're gonna come to a point in time where there is no return. Like if you look at historical data, if y'all trade, if y'all look at charts, or if you're not even a trader, just pull up with uh historical data, pull up a chart and go back to 2008 and my mentor and some of the people that I trade with, we did an analysis. 2008, the market was going like this. Boom, 2008 came, the housing industry, it crashed. Market went down. Then it started to go up. It started to go up. It started to go up. Guess what happened? 2020 hit. COVID crashed even further. Whatever is being prepared to happen, especially when you have elite investors like Warren Buffett taking millions, millions of dollars out of his portfolio. He knows, and the big players know that there's going to be something that's going to happen to the point where it might not be no return. We might be on our last crash. Hopefully, um, that doesn't happen. The way the market is set up, if it does crash, it's going to be very significant. And if we've already done our analysis on this, I'm going to be capitalizing on that nice little push up. Yes, it's going to be devastating. We might see something crazier than COVID. We might see something crazier. Uh, I don't know. Like it could be a disease that affects us. Something wild, like more extreme than COVID. It could be um the housing market. Like it could be government. Something's is definitely brewing. It has me analyzing every day. My goal is to make money, put money in different places, and just move from it. What's crazy is a lot of people they decide to move out of US. Like all the rich people decide, but you gotta understand our markets are tied with Europe and Asia. They're tied with London and Asia. We have Asian markets, we have London sessions. So what happens is if our market crash, it affects their markets too. What we need to start doing as people is putting money in things that are going to matter and start, fortifying, getting your homes right, preparing for things like this. This is getting crazy out here.
I believe that because there is social dissonance and there is we don't have a solid financial basis anymore, given all the debt, and we can just keep adding to the debt. So I think eventually it will collapse, and when it comes back, it will take some years to come back. The companies and the stocks will not exist when the system comes back again. So so the stocks that you end up with will be worthless.
It's almost
That's crazy. And that's why I don't invest money into stocks. I know a lot of people make, great money with stocks, but me personally, I'm not trusting. I'm a day trader. I don't trust the market with my money. I like my money on time. I like my money on time. Take the money, get out. I'm at a level where I'm just now starting to see that I could be a profitable trader. This year is going to be a great year for me. But I never have trusted the market. I don't trust the bank. You are to be your own bank. There's many ways that you can invest within yourself. Um, y'all also have to be understandable that real estate is not going to be a wealth asset. And I believe this, gentleman, like the stocks and all these things that you had are not going to matter. They're already having problems with sustainability issues because just to make an iPhone puts so much pollution in the air and the resources that it takes from the earth, they don't replenish. Um, yeah, I do believe this dude like it's going to take if we come to a like COVID, how long did it take us to bounce back from COVID? People still catch COVID too. Hope y'all know that. But it took us a little bit. The housing market took us a little bit, but this crash that's about to happen might take a couple more. It might take a couple years, like 7 years. I'm gonna be honest, it might take like 7 years. So if that happens, y'all need to be prepared, man. Y'all need to be prepared.
like a reset.
Yeah, it will be a risk.
So how can we prepare for that? How can somebody like me prepare for that?
But my mother told me always, the only thing they can never take away from you is what you have learned.
What do you think is the most
There you go.
important lesson you've learned? If you were sitting with Thomas at 18 years old and he was looking you in the face, what is one word of advice?
Family stuff. I've seen people get rich and leave their cat.
In
I'd be
your life?
surprised. Leave their cat and
No,
stuff.
sure, I still want to succeed better than I am
Oh
so
wow.
far. I'd like interactive brokers to become bigger and more successful. Yeah,
And I think that's the reason why you're here today is because you care about building the best
This
product, the
dude's
best
almost
team,
90
and
years old.
helping your investors. So
that's correct.
I really appreciate this interview. It means a lot to me.
Please subscribe to Jordan.
Yo, shout out to to Jordan. And Mr. Thomas. I would love to sit down with Mr. Thomas. Shoot, I'll work for Mr. Thomas. I don't care how much money I got. I could be worth $100 million. I would love to sit and work with that man, pick his brain, have him teach me things, business, tech, and financial side. Like you never stop learning.